Okay. Oh my goodness. Why did it go back to Coco's thing? Sorry about that, y'all. I had it on my image, but I guess it has it defaulted to let me click that. So I guess it defaulted to that. I hope y'all can hear me. My computer's going a bit slow right now, as I can see. Not sure why, but I'm going to close a few windows just in case it's any of these windows and see if that helps. And I'm going to, what else will I do? Oh, I see, because it had hers like defaulted. So sorry about that, y'all. Sorry about that, Coco. Peace. No, I know. Sorry about that. It was a fake. So what's up, Yipper99? No, you know what happened when I was in here? I put on mine, and then when I went to um put my video up, I saw that Coco's was like on default, but I was already live. So sorry about that. Didn't mean to do that. So all right, cool. So sound is good. That's what's up. Peace, everyone. Um, should I call you Jaman? Am I saying it properly? Because when I see things, I don't mean to like say people's names wrong, but sometimes I see them. I'm trying to like decipher what they say. I mean, what it reads. So yeah. Okay. Come on in. Come on in. Come on in. My husband just called me because I was like a couple of minutes late, and he was like, I was trying to make sure you were awake and not asleep. So shouts out to my husband George, aka P Groove. My husband is a legendary music producer. His name is P Groove. He makes music with makes like electronic hip hop. So the name of his record label is Hypnotic Records, and he was in the early stages of like blending techno and hip hop, and that's why his record label spelled like hip hop and techno, and is like mix. But he made music with Jay Dilla and Big Proof. If you know who those people are, that's very very Detroit royalty in hip hop. So love my husband very much. Shouts out to you, P Groove. But he is working. My husband is a hard worker. Well, both of us are hard workers. Um, I told y'all he owns a juice bar because he is very into health. He wants our people to be in optimal health. So him and his business partner, they opened up a juice bar they opened up a juice bar on the east side, and it's in the so-called like worst zip code in the city, 48205. It's called Jungle Juice Bar. And so if you come to Detroit, come to Jungle Juice Bar. That's my husband's juice bar. They have all types of food. He does like holistic healing, although he wouldn't call it that, but he heals a lot of people with juices and things like that. So yeah, shout us out to him. If y'all know anything about like street hop, PZ from Team East Side went there and like did a video, and now the juice bar is like popping. So thank you, PZ. Thank you, PZ. Okay, so gotta say peace to Desiree, peace CB, um, Giving Goddess, Sugar Bear. I mean Sugar Booger. I was back in third grade to my Sugar Bear. Sorry about that, Sugar Booger. If you're a Gen Xer like me, you probably know who Sugar Bear is. But if you're younger, I'm not even sure if y'all know who that is. But Sugar Booger finally found each other on the socials, the Insta. I don't know if you know what's interesting about me in social media? Like, I use it a lot. So if y'all go on social media, yes, I have a lot of so-called followers or whatever, but I use it a lot, and I've been on there a long time. So I use my Facebook groups, my Facebook pages. I use my Instagram. I use, I'm trying, y'all, to use TikTok. As a Gen Xer, it's really annoying. So annoying. But I only have the TikTok for my music business. I don't know, maybe Sugar Bear is still around. Like I haven't seen Sugar Bear, man, in possibly 30 years. But I could be off. And let me know if y'all seen Sugar Bear. I have not seen Sugar Bear. I haven't. Remember those commercials? I think Sugar Bear was black because remember he was humming and singing. Yeah, yeah. I think he was. Wasn't Sugar Bear black? He was like, mm-hmm. I don't know, but I'm gonna look up the commercials. Y'all look up those commercials. 'Cause I think Sugar Bear was black. Hmm. Let me see what else. Oh, I made some food earlier, so shouts out to me for dinner. I started making my dinner yesterday. Um, what I mean by that, I had some dry green lentils. I soaked them yesterday, and it was a blackface cartoon, right? The Sugar Bear. Okay, thank you. Because I was like, it was kind of a minstrel situation. But back in the 70s, it's hilarious. It's like, we'll take it. No more. But you know what? A lot of people was like, we're not taking that. And did a lot of other alternative programming that didn't get a lot of um like eyes watching or a lot of support. So shouts out to the internet and Black Power Media. That's what we need on Black Power Media, y'all. We need some children's programming on here. We need some animators, some cartoons, and some teenage programming, right? Like remember like Teen Summit or like a dance show. Um I don't know. I feel like we need more more like varied age group type of programming on Black Power Media. So ooh, that sounds interesting. But any hootie rooty tootie. So I made some dinner. I made so I started cooking the green lentils yesterday. I soaked them. Oh, they had a children's show? Okay. I wonder. I hope they come back. Was it good? Um so I soaked them for a day and then I today I sauteed, so I have my crock pot. So today I grew, y'all know I grow like most of my food. So I grew my garlic. So from last year. So I used some garlic, some of my garlic that I grew, sliced it, and with some olive oil, cumin, paprika, coriander, some molasses, some fresh ginger that I sliced up, and coconut milk. So, oh, and red cabbage. And so all of that I turned into this lovely stew. And oh, and a little bit of cayenne and a little bit of pink Himalayan sea salt. And it was so good. I still have like one bowl left. I was thinking that I was gonna have that for the week. That was the intention. Because I was like, oh, I gotta get more protein. And so I was like, yeah, I'm gonna cook me a crock pot and that's gonna last me a week. Child, I done ate mostly all of it. I only got like a bowl left. So I'm not gonna eat that before I go to bed, but I'm gonna eat it tomorrow. I'm gonna have that for lunch. So it was so good, y'all. And I had forgotten about molasses. And growing up, my grandmother always had molasses. And I always was like, ugh, molasses always tastes nasty to me. But now I know why, because my grandmother is from Alabama. My mom's from Alabama. And she always ate Alaga syrup on our pancakes. And we would have like maple syrup. And y'all know we also had that Aunt Jemima. I ain't gonna front like we didn't have that. But my grandmother and my great uncle, her brother, because we'd be at the table, and I don't know, like my grandmother's table in the kitchen would have this. I'm gonna call it like a spice rack. Like if y'all go to the Indian restaurant and they have like that circle thing, and you could choose like all your spices. So my grandmother and my uncle, like all of them are farmers. We're all farmers, and so on the table, everybody has like their own like syrup that they like, and everybody has their own hot sauce, and the hot sauce is like the hot sauce you make. You know what I'm saying? And so like my uncle had this hot sauce. That joint was so tough. You all you had to do is smell it, and it was like, nah, it burnt the crap out of your nose and down your throat. I don't know how he put that on everything. He put it on his eggs, everything. I used to be like, whoa. Then my grandma didn't eat hot sauce. I did, but there was another thing, and it was like vinegar with peppers in it, and that was for your greens. And any hootie rooty tootie, everybody had. So what kind of peppers, right, Pancho? So everybody had different kind of peppers because some people would put mixed peppers, like they would put like hot peppers and sweet peppers. Probably the peppers that my uncle, I can't confirm or deny, but it was probably some form of like ghost pepper. But because my family, like, you know, grew all their food, it didn't really, not all, but a lot of our food, some like them things did not have no labels on them. So nothing was coming out of a can, mostly none of our food came out of a can. So it was like, or box, very few things. So it grew, and it was his peppers. Because if you know anything, well, also too with the pepper situation with my grandma's garden, people like in our family, like different people grew their own peppers, and it would just have like your name on it. So and it was only a couple, a couple people, but I think they were like a ghost pepper because they were so hot. I just remember being like X marks the spot. No. And so but anywho, Rudy, I'm telling you all that because I made this amazing meal that I thought I was gonna have for the week, and it's only gonna last me 2 days because I am very enamored with the meal I made. It's so good. Y'all try that. Okay, boom. I also made some lemonade using the molasses because I was like, let me try this molasses. The whole thing with the molasses, y'all, because I'm like doing the best I can. So I'm not on sugar. At the same time, I'm trying to like eliminate as much sugar as possible. So I say, well, molasses is vegan. It's natural. And I remember growing up, my grandmother put it in all types of stuff. She used to make cakes and things with molasses. I mean, cookies, cakes, pies with molasses. And any hooty rooty tooty. I do have some coconut sugar in there, but I'm just trying different stuff. I think after I'm done with the coconut sugar, I'm gonna go try the sugar cane, and I was thinking to like strain the sugar, not strain, but like juice the sugar cane and like get the juice. I don't know, never tried this before, but I was thinking to do that, or just like slice a piece like ginger and put it in a stew. But any hooty rooty tooty, I'm doing the best I can to get off of as much processed, like whatever, and everything just grow. But anyway, I made this lemonade. It's super thick, y'all, because I I have a what's that thing called? A juicer. I have it like a citrus juicer, but I didn't use it because I just wanted to get to the lemonade. So literally, y'all, I cut the lemons, squeezed them, and then I took my hand and just like squeezed the juice out. So it's mad pulp inside my lemonade, but I love thick pulp. So I used lemons, and I boiled some ginger, and put the molasses for the sweetener. And the only reason I did that because I wanted the like the hot ginger tea basically to like melt the molasses so that I wouldn't have that problem like mixing it. It worked out. It tastes really good. My husband was like, "Why didn't you just juice the ginger?" And I'm like, "I could have done that, but I really wanted that molasses to melt down." But anyway, it tastes delish, and I love it, and I'm drinking it out of my cup that I got. You see that cup? I got that as a like is it called an award? Yeah, I got it as an award. Uh, some young women gave it to me to say thank you. So thank you. So so what did you say? Yama said, "Oh, the ugly old ghost pepper." Um, Desiree, hey Desiree, that sounds good. Actually, I only don't like the pulp and store bought lemonade and orange juice. When I do it myself, it's always way different and better to me. That's true. All right, I'm gonna have a cooking show. You know what? Y'all ain't calling the health department on me. I have a cooking show because y'all know how y'all black people are like, why she got the radio up there? Why she got her phone up there listening to music? Why is the speaker up there? No, but it'll be an awesome cooking show. Okay, we'll see. I gotta get somebody's spot to do it in so that y'all don't see me put my big ass speaker on my on my counter when I cook. Y'all know I gotta have my tunes when I cook, or a movie or good movie. Actually, today I watched the movie, The Pelican Brief. I got movies I can watch like again and again and again and again, and The Pelican Brief is one of those movies that I always love to watch. It is super annoying how they try to have the little sexual situation between Denzel and what was her name? What was her name? I don't know, I forgot the child name. She had like thick lips and curly hair. Julia Roberts. I hate that. I'm like, there was no reason for them to like be like have a love scene, or they didn't have a love scene, but it was like, you know how Hollywood always try to have like some little sexual tension between people. You don't even need sexual tension in this storyline because like her boyfriend got blew up, so she ain't thinking about no Denzel Washington. And you know what? He ain't thinking about that little white girl. Let's be honest. But anyway, love Pelican Brief because I do environmental justice, and it's a movie about how this corporate greedy bastard was willing to destroy the environment and like murdered all these people. It's like a murder mystery. But anyway, I like the Pelican Brief because it uplifts our environment. Um, what else? Let me see. I wrote down a couple things that I wanted to tell y'all. Boom, boom, boom. Oh, you know what? So I made this video, y'all. I made this video, and so there is a music producer that's here in Detroit. Her name is Rated M, and she made some beats, right? And well, she makes beats, and she made this one beat in particular. And I asked her if she could give me a beat for this show and a beat for my other show. So I'm trying to decide which beat that I want to use. And so I made the video to go in the opening, and my husband said it's corny. But I'm like, I'm gonna try it. So I wanted to have it for today, but the thing is, um, the beat is uh um the beat's cool, but the video is in dot move, and I don't know if y'all know because I have on Mac. So the video is in dot move, and in order to like upload it, it has to be at MP4. So we'll do that and have it ready for y'all for next week. And y'all will be able to tell me if you think the video is corny or if you want me to keep it. I was just trying to do something like an intro video, keep it simple, little 20, 30 seconds. Because I've been using the countdown, and I was thinking instead of the countdown, y'all might want to hear a little beat. So we'll see. So I'll try it for next week, y'all. Let me know what y'all think. So KJS Akuma says, should I just call you Akuma? Let me know what to call you. I remember Denzel saying he only wants black love interest. I do remember that, y'all. I do remember that. Oh, you like my recipe, Yama? Okay, let me tell y'all something. This where the recipe came from. I told y'all I am studying traditional African American herbal medicine, and I'm going to be certified in January. So basically, what I did, I took a lot of flavors that I like, and I did some food combining and mixed it so that, like I told y'all, I'm 51. So KJ's fine. Thank you. So I'm doing my best so that it tastes really good, but I'm also getting like my ginger because I need ginger for my joints, y'all. So I don't have no problems. Um, so I get my ginger and like I said, to try the molasses because I do like to add a little bit of like, when you cook, you gotta like balance all the flavors and everything else. So people usually put like a little sugar and stuff. But like I said, I'm really trying to like not use sugar. So like I said, I put a little molasses. Um, oh, I forgot. I made some grits on Saturday morning and I put molasses in my grits, and that was delish. Cause I like grits. I like sugar in my grits, and I know some of y'all gonna fight me for that. But I do. I like sugar in my grits. I'm a sugar grits person, so I'm on that sugar grits team. Please don't take my black card, but true, black people like sugar and grits. There's some of us. So instead of the sugar, I'm doing molasses. It does turn them a tad brown. I'm not mad at that, but yeah, pretty much just hoodoo stuff. You're right, Yama. Is on the hoodoo situation. But right, and sugar on well, wait, hold up. Okay, look, sugar booger. This one I'm gonna give you. You grew up on sugar on the rice? Okay, I had brown sugar on rice with raisins, but we baked it, and that was with milk, pet milk, and it was called rice pudding. Is that what y'all did? Or no? So few sugar grits people, yeah, and I'm not mad at the savory grits people because my mom, rest in peace, was a staunch. Oh no, you can't do sugar grits, molasses grits. But my mom was a savory grits person. Rest in peace. My mom didn't play that sugar grit stuff. hmm Oh, okay, right. You're right, Desiree. There is a cheese grits uh family. So there's the sugar grits family, the like savory grits family, and the cheese grits family. Right. Thank you, Desiree. Diversity and inclusion. um, what else is there? Yeah, yeah. Also Saturday, I also um I've been getting a lot more gigs to DJ. These conferences and all these leftists and stuff want me to DJ. So I put together a set for Grassroots Global Justice Alliance, came to Detroit to do their strategic plan for 2024. They do a lot of like environmental justice and climate justice. They're international, multinational, multiracial, and they work on a lot of elements. So they had their gathering here they were here a few days. And so Saturday, they had their event at the General Baker Center. And I DJ'd, right? And I put a set together for them. So I opened up, like I like to do. I had different women jazz musicians, like Dorothy Ashby, Alice Coltrane, just like different, even Brandy Younger. So I had some different women jazz musicians, to start them off. Then they had a panel that was like food, like so it was kind of mixed. So Baba Malik from Detroit Black Community Food Sovereignty Network did talked about Black food sovereignty. Mama Monica Lewis Patrick from We the People of Detroit talked about basically water is life, but like her water activism, um, some of the fights that she's been in. And I would love to say water amnesty, but we're not at water amnesty yet. I'm going to put that as a vision, hold that as a visionary dream that we will one day be at water amnesty. But for now, the talking points are water affordability. So she talked about that in the world water wars and how all the same corporations that are poisoning our waters and overcharging us for water and shutting off our water are all the same globally, whether it's Detroit, Puerto Rico, wherever. So it's like Veolia, Nestle, and all these terrible corporations. So she talked about that. Um, who was next to her? Man, my brain slipped. Was Sadie Sarr from Abisa, the African Bureau, what is her, of International Sovereignty Alliance or something like that. So basically, she helps Black immigrants, African immigrants, Caribbean immigrants. Her whole, if anybody knows immigrants that need help, she's one of the only organizations in the country, unfortunately. Fortunately, she's there, but unfortunately, she's one of the only ones. But that helps Black immigrants. So if y'all have Black immigrants that need help, holla at Sadie, because she created her organization because with the immigration struggle, many times, um, a lot of organizations, many organizations don't include Black immigrants. And so Black immigrants get left out of a lot of these organizations that are supposed to help immigrants. And anyway, but Abisa, Abisa, and so she talked about being here in Detroit and being a single mother and all the things that she's going through. She's super amazing. Love her organization. Um, I'm trying to think like who was in between them. Oh my goodness, charge it to my head and not to my heart. But anywho, Rudy, it was a dope panel where and then after the pan was they had dope dinner from Baobab Fare, who is there is a restaurant that it's a couple, they're from Burundi. They were refugees that came here. They stayed at Freedom House. Freedom House has a lot of different resources for people who identify as an immigrant, including trainings, and they help them like live their dream basically. So they always want to open a restaurant. So they opened up a restaurant, and their food is amazing. So the food was from Baobab Fare. Food was incredible. Um, what else? So anyway, the party part, I DJ'd that, and it was cool. So before the panel and during dinner, I played the jazz. Then we had the panel. It was all fiery. So once they were done, I played a lot of revolutionary salsa music so that people could dance, but also too because as we know, a lot of the revolutionary salsa music that um, talked about all types of messages, all the way from like kill the slave master to like just reclaiming our blackness to like ode to the mother, to a lot of things that are in Bembe or Santeria, or just talking about like reverence, like uh you know poverty, capitalism. Anyway, the 70s salsa music um there's a lot of revolutionary songs, you know what I'm saying? So played a lot of that music, we got to dance, had a good time, and then we went home. So that was my Saturday. uh oh wait, so Yama say, if somebody wants to start spinning, what would you say to them about starting up? Like how much time to expect to put in getting it down? It depends on what you want to do. Like myself, I'm more considered like a selector. I'm not like ear doctor where I gotta put more time in so I can get blends and stuff like that to be like being on the radio where y'all want to like listen to a blend. I'm better like at an event because I'm like reading the crowd and the energy. Also, too, if I know the event, what it is ahead of time, which mostly I do, then I'm working like for however from the day I book the event all the way up until the event, like researching music, talking to them to see what type of music they like, whatever the event is, like trying to think of stuff that like goes with the event. That's the way I do it. And then I'm like you know, getting all the music that we need. If you're talking about like the skill level wise, there's so many videos on YouTube, or there are different DJ schools you could go to in different cities. I know a lot of DJs, so sometimes I go to them, like ask them for help. You're talking about equipment. If you're just starting out, don't worry about buying all types of equipment. Just use your laptop. Or you could get like a simple controller. I like Serato because I have all the extensions on Serato. So that means I can do something called stems. I can video DJ. I have a lot of flexibility to do some different experimentation. Now, something I have decided to do is put more time into practicing DJing. So I'm going to put more time into practicing DJing because I get really involved in like collecting the music, but I got to put a little more time into like, those like blends and stuff, cuz I'm big for just like fade in, fade out, at certain points and then drops. But I want to do some more. Hey, peace, Quaker anarchist. So yeah, but you can make your own hot chocolate, Yipper 99. And yeah, also too, there was a conversation about where to buy coffee, where to buy chocolate. There's so many places to buy coffee and chocolate that's not from a colonizer. Mhm. That's what we need to do. Share some of these resources. Peace, Zenzabel. I really appreciate you being on Earn Your Liberation on Friday. You were pretty awesome. Um, oh, hey, do y'all have Tandy's book, Tandy's Way, new book? I just ordered mine. I'm like, we should do a Black Power Media reading group of her book. If y'all already started, like that would be dope. Um, yeah, Ear Doctor invited me to come on. No. Yeah, okay, so Sugar Booger got your book. Zenzabel, I saw you got your book. I just ordered mine. I'm waiting on it to come. But I think it would be cool to do a reading circle with her book. I think that book is it's let me know what y'all think, but it looks powerful. Like I'm excited about it. And I think if I'm not mistaken, she's going on somebody's show to like talk about it. I gotta remember. What did you say? So America don't be out here trying to replace black people with them Africans. That is a shock to my sister. That's hilarious. I mean, and what a quick run I could say. I follow a former Mennonite homesteader. She showed today how to make her own chocolate milk. Clever. Just need to source the powdered chocolate proper. To be honest, there are so many people that are doing like carob and chocolate. Even like, yeah, some of us are brave. Right. So Zenzabel put in the chat, y'all, the name of Tandy's book. So like I said, I just ordered mine. Everybody order yours, please. Um let's get a reading group going for her book so we can get more people to buy her book because that's gonna be a great read. Let me see. I talked about that. Talked about that. Oh, my grandson says peace, but he went to his auntie's house so that I could do my show. So normally, y'all know he be causing havoc and stuff, but he went to his auntie's house. He's only 2, so my husband took him to his oldest daughter's house, so that I don't have to be down here panicking. um, Okay, 3 more things real quick. Um, I told y'all I'm working on a mixtape and a beat tape for next year. So if y'all know of people, women, or people who identify as women or femme that make beats, I'm making a beat tape with women who make beats. And if y'all know women who like women MCs, send them my way because I'm making the 4th volume of my Women in Hip Hop mixtape. If y'all go to SoundCloud, I got 3 volumes of Women in Hip Hop mixtapes on We Found Hip Hop. I will make sure y'all have access to that. It's all free stuff. And then y'all know my artist, Aisha Ellis, the drummer, has a her album, and it's vinyl and it's instrumental, and it came out, where did we come out, end of May, beginning June, and it's been out all this year. You can get it from my husband's website, Hypnotic Records, and I'll make sure y'all can get all that. I'll send y'all links and stuff to check it out. But like I said, we're not doing all of the media outlets, and I got a lot of flack for that. But what we decided to do is, instead of do all these outlets, the music is available for purchase. You can purchase to download the EP, or you can purchase the EP vinyl, and both are available on Hypnotic Records. That's my husband's website or record label. Okay, boom. We did that because we don't want to do Spotify and all that stuff, right? Because they don't love us. Um, and then I know I got a lot of flack from my industry friends because they're like, "What about discoverability?" I'm like, "Y'all act like Spotify and these other outlets are like pushing our music to people. They're not. They're pushing the music. It's the same uh, hustle. They're pushing the music from Universal Music and Sony. Like they're pushing that to everybody, but they're not pushing like our music to people. So it's not like, oh, we're not on Spotify, so you can't find our music. The same way that you can go to Spotify and look it up and get the same way you can just come on over to the website and grab it. So we're experimenting. Let's see how it works out. Um, what else is there? So I told you about that. Okay, so on the 11th, 11/11, my artist Aisha has a we're gonna call it album release, and it's gonna be at DJ Hot Wax's party. So DJ Hot Wax is a legendary mother of house music. She has a party every week at this place called Spotlight in Detroit. So um, at 7 p.m. on November the 11th, if you're in Detroit, come by, because we'll be having Aisha like sign records, and you can hear the record, the vinyl and all of that. So just looking forward to that. That's going to be a really cool event. I'll make sure to put that also up on the social, so I hope y'all can support. And I got to do all my little talking points. Oh, uh, I wanted to see if any of y'all went to the March on Washington for Palestine this weekend, or the other March on Washington for Palestine last weekend. And did anybody go? Let me know. While you do that, I'm gonna look on here to what y'all are talking about. Let's see. Very good prejudice skill to get it down. I was wondering if I can leftover something instead of freezing. Wait, what? Oh, okay. Bandcamp is getting taken out. I heard, and right now I heard of Spotify, and the streamer is not going to pay for streams anymore, neither. Right. So these people do whatever they want to do. So that's why we put it on our website, and it is what it is right now. Let's see. Yeah, leftovers. Freeze the leftovers. Y'all, my grandma, you know what? Growing up, we always did canning and freezing. So all this like shopping and shopping and shopping, that's some new stuff. Mm-hmm. Mm. All right. So the march was crazy. My ears still buzzing. Um, throw some details in the chat and tell us about the march. Because it's important for us to stay connected, about these type of things. So I promised y'all that I was gonna finish this book up this week. So he told me to stop calling him Dr. Ball, but Jared told me, so we have November the 9th, so that's next week. that I'm gonna be interviewed by Jared, and he's gonna interview me about the book Women Rappin Revolution, right? Hip hop and community building in Detroit. So this is number 6. It's the final one. And do y'all like doing books? Because if so, I like to read, and I have a lot of hip hop feminism books in that we can talk about. In addition, so I've been working on scheduling. Scheduling is difficult, y'all. Like trying to schedule people to be guests. People be busy, busy, busy. People be busy. But I'm working on getting some guests for y'all. But any hootie Rudy Tootie. This is the 6th one. So you said the march was organized, and really it was a lot of people, and there was more people there that didn't march, but it was loud and loud. Well, yeah, there's a march. So I think a lot of people is good though, for a march. Because some of our marches here, we'd be marching in Detroit for environmental justice. It'd be about 30 of us. I'm like, that's why these people don't take us seriously. No, we strong, we small but mighty. Let me not say that. But any hootie Rudy Tootie. So the last, however long, 5 other episodes, we went through the book. I was just kind of giving commentary. I read the book, then I would give some commentary as to like where I was at the time, what I was thinking, what was going on, or just things that I feel probably were not in the book. So that's how I've just been doing it. And then I like read a little bit. So Quaker Anarchist wants to know who organized the march. Last time I've been doing this environmental justice, or at least the intersections of hip hop and environmental justice, for a while. And I talked about what happened with my comrade. I talk about it probably almost every show. Charity Maymuna Hicks, rest in peace. That was murdered on her way because she was the whistleblower for the Detroit and Flint water crisis. She had a meeting with United Nations to have it declared a human rights violation, and she was murdered en route to that meeting. So always talk about her, always uplift her, because she was one of my mentors and very important. In the book, talks a lot about how we use hip hop to resist all the things that they were doing to us here in Detroit. We talked about how we used our space, how we had the weekly open mic, how we were going to the different conferences and things, how we were making music and music videos together to speak about gentrification, displacement, environmental justice, like all the things. And so that's like a lot of what the book is about. And then discoveries that we had, right? Like, are we feminists? Like, who's not a feminist? Who, why did we not want to identify as feminists? It was just like a lot. You know what I mean? Like a lot. Oh wait, real quick. You said it was wild. Might be 350 to 400,000 people that was there, and people were doing smaller things in specific locations in DC, even in the nighttime after the big march was over. That's good, man. Got to keep that foot on that neck. Because it's not, people ain't giving up power. Right. I was trying to think, like, for the last one, it feels like I probably shouldn't like read the end. But maybe I can talk about, what she does here that I do want to show y'all. She has like a lot of notes. Like, you see these notes pages, and there's like all these pages of notes. It's like a lot of notes. It's like the notes are like almost like a chapter of notes, which are really good. Like, and then there's like a really like robust bibliography, so that's pretty cool. Which is great. And they what I like is a lot of the people that they've chosen to reference or cite in certain spaces are people that are very aligned. Like I don't know if y'all read Barbara Ransby. You know, she wrote "Making All Black Lives Matter: Reimagining Freedom in the 21st Century." So she's referenced in here. Um, like Nancy Guevara, Women Writing, Rapping, Breaking, and Dropping Science, critical essays on rap music and hip hop culture. Um, they use like a note there talking about while the commercial rap industry is a profit driven, exclusive, structured corporate institution, the hip hop underground is local, community driven, and consists mainly of independent artists who sell their products directly to fans. Some other people that are referenced in here. Um, I'm looking at the folks that I, you know, also, I don't know if y'all know Nelson George, who's done a lot for hip hop culture. Um, they used Hip Hop in America for a detailed discussion about the racial politics tied to crossover music in the major label music industry. Um, you know what's interesting? Well, I'll save that for another conversation. They used Dina Perone, Gender and Sexuality in the Field, a female ethnographer's experience researching drug use in dance clubs, substance use and misuse, and Bina Bardwa, a lone Asian and female, the unspoken challenges of conducting fieldwork in dance settings, Dance Cult Journal of Electronic Dance Music Culture, and Caitlin A. Model, Fear in the Festival Field, Threat, Apprehension, and Apathy, Dance Cult, Journal of Electronic Dance Music Culture. And a lot of these, they're researching, because initially, I think I said this before, but initially this book didn't start out being a book. Initially, they were just interested in what we were doing, and they saw how we were um, pushing back. And I don't know. It's like pushing back sounds like we were so cognizant. It's like you ever have something that's like so innate that you don't even realize you're doing it, and it's like you when you're doing it for survival, it doesn't even feel like something you're doing on purpose. So even though we're doing it on purpose, we're also doing it because it like needed to be done. So with that, I guess as people were watching us do it, I mean, it was fascinating. I appreciate that they had the foresight to recognize to like document, you know, and so they did. You know what I'm saying? So with that, um, well, it became a series of like studies or journal pieces, and then it was entered into academic journal, and then it got peer reviewed by Jeff Chang and several people, and it actually became a published book. I kind of said that before, but I was just reiterating that. Um, I like the conversation that's going on in the chat. Okay, also to oh he, so some of the references like they were using different references, like they used one of the phrases that appears in the hook of Dead Prez's track Hip Hop from Malefi Sante's book, It's Bigger Than Hip Hop, The Rise of the Post Hip Hop Generation. It borrows from and is an ode to the song. While this is an important text, Azante's views on gender and sexuality are not consistent with ours. And so, what I like is in the notes how they're like recognizing that they are not of the hip hop culture. And so, they are in addition to like studying us, they're also doing some bigger like studying, right? And then they're referencing like who they're reading so that they can do some better understanding. And then within their understanding, they're kind of breaking down like where they're getting stuff from. So I like that they do that, you know, in the book. Um yeah, so who else? Yeah, of course they use Jeff Chang's Can't Stop, Won't Stop, A History of the Hip Hop Generation. I love that book. Um, Gwendolyn D. Pugh, uh, Check It While I Wreck It, Black Womanhood, Hip Hop Culture, and the Public Sphere. Marceliana Morgan, The Real Hip Hop, Battling for Knowledge, Power, and Respect in the LA Underground. Uh, Writing, breaking, beatboxing, strategically performing women in hip hop in which is signs in the Journal of Women in Culture and Society. So there's a lot of like, you know, references and references and references, you know, that I appreciate out, you know, out of this book. I'm naming like where they say we purposefully employ the term rebellion in reference to the uprising in 1967 in place of the more commonly used riot. As Grace Lee Boggs explains, that riot refers to a simple breakdown in law and order. A rebellion, we decide, is an important massive uprising and protest of the oppressed. Therefore, it not only begets reforms, but also throws into question the legitimacy and supposed performance of existing institutions. And that was James Boggs and Grace Lee Boggs in Revolution and Evolution in the 21st Century. Um, yeah, so, mm-hmm. Oh no. Yeah, that is true, Yama. That is true. You know what's interesting too, just looking at the chat. I mean, what I like about Black Power Media is decidedly leftist, and I feel like a lot of Black media that is in the ecosphere, just a lot of media, you know, let's just say without going too far, because I could go on a rabbit hole. I like Black Power Media because it's decidedly leftist, and it's a space for the Black left, and even among the Black left, we're not the same, right? Like we have our differences, like we're nuanced, and I appreciate this space because it allows us to have discourse and to study and to be together and to dig deeper into our values and, you know, dissect it. So just really appreciate this space, and I appreciate y'all because the Black Power Media chat is undefeated, okay, unmatched. Y'all are like amazing. I appreciate y'all so much. Words can't even describe. um Let me see, what are some other sort of places that they were digging that I want to share. Like, do y'all know Bettina Love? Bettina Love's work is amazing. So I got to meet Bettina Love doing a lot of this work, like promoting this book. Um, she's a writer. She works with young people. She's just developing ways to like dismantle the ways in which society like places people that makes sense and helps people to, you know, make sense of things. That's the most simplest way I can put it. But she's a teacher, you know, she's an educator, and she's super amazing. Um, yeah, I mean, I talked a lot about in the previous, you know, editions about, man, it's like so much. I mean, I know some people probably not gonna go back and watch all of them, although I'm encouraging you to. But I'm trying to like, because this is the conclusion, I'm just trying to bring some more, ideas like into this space. And I'm using and instead of reading y'all the conclusion, because I do want y'all to get the book and the link is inside the description. Um, I'm going through and just telling y'all like some of their references so you can see who they're referencing when they're talking about us. um, who else? Oh, you know who else? Trisha Rose. Oh man, such a Trisha Rose fan. Um, they reference black noise, rap music, and black culture in contemporary America. That one was way back in '94. Zinzabel said, I met Bettina Love a few years ago because she was tight with a mutual friend. Yeah, she's amazing. I have been in conferences with her and learned a lot and really appreciate her work and her writing. Remember Byron Hurt, hip hop beyond beats and rhymes? Okay, so yes, I'm just naming some of the references, but I'm gonna tell a quick story. So I also work with youth. I've been working with youth formally, I want to say at least a decade, like youth training youth leaders, but just as an adult ally, helping young people. Youth, we have to make definitions these days because BYP, Black Youth Project 100, which is one of the orgs that's in the ecosphere movement for Black lives. It's like their youth arm. They define youth as like 14 to 35. I don't know, y'all. I mean, I wouldn't have called myself a youth at 35. That's an I statement. I understand that's an I statement. I wouldn't have called myself a youth at 35, but I would not have called myself a youth at 25. um, so I'm not going to belabor on that because we don't need to argue about that. I'll just say it's interesting. But so BYP 100, they say that youth is up to 35. I did not work with youth that were 35. I work with youth that are um from children to teenagers and young adults. I mentor young adults. Now I do have young adults that I mentor that are 31, 32. I would not characterize them as youth. I would characterize them as adults and young adults. I have young people I work with that are 27, 25, obviously 20, 21, 22. I mean, and it's interesting because a lot of young people I work with and they say youth, they're still talking about people up to 25. So they're still including 20, 21, 22 as youth. Anyway, I'm not gonna argue with them. So let them get their grant money or whatever, however they get their grant money to get the youth work paid for. But any hootie rooty tootie. I would say Yama said it's because the political world is filled with hella old capitalists trying to die with their hands on the wheel. I understand. Calling an adult a youth, this was Zinzabel said, calling an adult a youth sounds a bit condescending, and I'm sure adults calling other adults youth would have had a problem with it when they were 25. Right. And it's an interesting conundrum because some young people I work with that's like 25 want to be called a youth. And some are like, don't call me a youth. So it's like you have to ask. You know what I'm saying? It's like somebody's pronoun. You just have to ask. So but I've been working with youth, children, young people since 2009. So that's almost 15 years. All right, boom. So working like in school, out of school, the like so-called smarty kids that are like AP and the like academic achievers in the suburbs, the so-called at-risk youth in the hood, on some lean on me, like the whole gambit. I work with young people around the intersections of arts, culture, hip hop, and environmental justice. And I like to connect with young people who have an interest in pursuing arts and culture and media as their career. So I like to serve as an adult ally and a mentor. At times, I'm a teacher because, like, if I go into schools, that makes me a teaching artist. When I'm like the last 6 weeks, I just finished teaching out of school program for Black Lives Matter. I taught their youth program, their youth photography program. It's like a 6 week after school program, children and families. Love that program because it's parents and kids, grandparents and kids. The families are together. Like, I love that. And a lot of the ways that I like to work, when I do youth work or any type of work, I like to work with families. Because my thing is, it's one thing, this might be controversial, but a lot of adults say, oh, they don't like these people parents, or the parents is crazy and all this type of thing. But my thing is, you working with this person's child, and it's great that we're like, teaching the young person all these things. They still got to go home and be accountable to their parent. And to me, if we're talking about like the Black family and all this kind of thing, I don't like that, where people say like, oh yeah, their parents are whatever. That's so condescending to me and hateful. It's like, okay, people parents do have problems. People parents do be high on drugs, can't function, got problems, be all type of abusive. They do have that. And guess what? It means they need support too. People be out here like, we want to save the kids, F the parents. My thing is, how can we do more so that we as a community also envelop parents? And that doesn't just mean the single mothers and act like we just like, and don't get me wrong, I'm saying this as a Black feminist. I'm not just saying like just do the single mothers. I'm like, in my youth program stuff, I'm like, parents or guardians or whoever is in charge, like families and communities, like we all need help. You know what I'm saying? And some of that help is political education. Some of it is resources. Some of it is like, access to technology, to jobs, to information, to other ways of being, to healthy food, to like learning skills, to like getting, support with counseling or conflict resolution. And we know that our schools are trash. And that's not to get the schools or the government off the hook. Still keep the foot on the neck that we get the things we need, and at the same time build, what we need, right? Like here, Black Power Media, right? So that's where I like to do youth work. As much as I can bring in parents, as much as I can help bring parents into the equation as to what's going on, because that means that usually if the parents are starting to be brought into the equation now at home, it is less of a like separation, like the kid got to go compartmentalize themselves to like be a part of something. It's like, it's a lot worse with integration. Anyway, that's a longer conversation. People disagree or they agree. I've seen it work. That's what I'm gonna say. I've seen it work multiple times. But any hootie Rudy tootie, I'm telling you all that to say, started working with youth. I was such a talker, but I started working with youth back then. And I told y'all that story when we showed Raquel Cepeda's, shouts out to Raquel Cepeda. We showed her film, Blood Diamonds, and about where, diamonds come from. And they, what was it, Tego, Paul Wall, and Raekwon the chef. They all go to each one of their neighborhoods, right? To see what their neighborhood is like, and to they take everyone on a tour, and they experience like each one of their hoods, and each one of them is telling about the horror stories of like their hood. And there is a young person who had been a child soldier, and the child soldier had been an adult at this point in his 20s, and so he was able to be their tour guide and then take them back to where he was from. And throughout the movie, you're seeing this process. There is this guy that is from maybe Australia. I don't know. There's a European there that's with them throughout this. And like I said, when they go to each hood, they're like, naming the atrocities in their hood. And then when they finally go to Africa and they show a refugee camp, no, they go to a diamond. No, wait, they went to the refugee camp first. No, no, sorry. I think first they went to the girls' school. Is that right? Anyway, yeah, but I remember they went to the girls' school, all girls school, and the young women unfortunately have been by the soldiers, right? And so they had lost everything. And I remember they brought them the sneakers, and I guess Nike gave them some sneakers or something. So they went there and visited. They learned about their story. Then they went to a few places, but they went to like an amputee camp. And at the amputee camp, they had so they showed like how the camp was set up. They had a whole like mosque sort of camp set up for the Muslim folks that were amputee, and they had like a church one set up for the Christian folks, but it was all like in the same camp. And that particular day they were, and it was like babies and adults and people. Some of them were on like a helpful like walking stick. Some of them had to crawl. Anyway, it was a very atrocious, like painful sight to see that these diamond monsters had amputated babies, or just people in general, but had amputated babies because they said they weren't like working fast enough to get the diamonds out. And they did that to like encourage or to like force or to scare the living daylights out of other people. So they try to work faster, right? Very traumatizing stuff. So throughout the whole movie, by the time they get there to the camp, Raekwon doesn't want to get off the bus. Now, in the beginning, Raekwon had, oh, y'all niggas don't care about the hood. Y'all, this the reality. This reality. Y'all don't know about reality. Y'all don't want to see the real. This the real. And I guess he took them to like Staten Island. They was going around, and I guess you saw people doing all types of hood stuff. And he was saying like, y'all don't want to look at this, blah 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 blah. And he didn't want to get off. So, but by end the movie, he doesn't want to get off the bus. And like the European dude is like, come on, Ray, come on, Ray. Remember you said we don't want to look at you. You don't want to look at them. This is reality. This is reality. You want people to see your reality? This is their reality. And he was like, I don't want to see that shit, man. I don't want to see that shit. And it was terrible. But anyway, fast forward, a lot of other things happened. But after the film, I was working with some youth, and we would watch films and talk about films. And I asked them, I said, well, what do y'all think about the film? And they was like, that nigga Raekwon is a bitch. And I was like, interesting analysis. Um, but but yeah, I would show a lot of like hip hop films that I felt had the messages and things to where we could have conversations, right? Um, and that was one of them. So if you ever work with youth, I know it's an old film, but very powerful, and it's still very relevant because people will know who Raekwon is. Not sure they'll know who Tego is, and not sure they'll know who Paul Wall is unless they're a certain age, and it may even be kind of irrelevant to certain people. But anyway, check it out. It's worth it. May just try it. But the Byron Hurt film, um, which is what I named this show after. I mean, because his the Byron Hurt is hip hop beyond beats and rhymes. And did y'all see the Beyond Beats and Rhymes film? It's back in the day. I mean, back in the day, nowadays it's 2006, but it's a very um central and pivotal film in a lot of this hip hop scholar stuff. Like a lot of people look to Byron Hurt as like, a person who, um, I guess it kind of like helped to make this more mainstream, right? To make like hip hop scholar more mainstream. But this show I named after that film, because his is called Beyond Beats and Rhymes, and if you see the film, it it has a whole thing on like capitalism and this and that. I think it doesn't necessarily age well because it does. Well, it does. Well, let me not say that. Let's just say it could be seen in a couple of different ways because it does. While it does talk about like the capitalism and this kind of thing, it does talk about the hypersexualization of the black body and that being like a central context to much of hip hop, in addition to the hyper toxic masculine, like all the gunplay and the killing and the womanizing and the sexism and all that. I think what a lot of contemporary feminists may disagree with in the film is its premise that it sees the I'm calling it hypersexualization. Forgive me, I'm a Gen Xer. But I think in the context of contemporary feminism, it's when people look at the sexualization as a negative, like the sexualization as a negative. And I gave my opinion before in some episodes before. I'm gonna give it again. My opinion is if it's consensual, like I have no problem with the consensual. My argument though about the consensualness, if that's a word, of the hypersexualization is it consensual? And by consensual, what I mean is it a tool because people are trying to sell records? Is it the only way that these labels are going to allow you to like exist, right? Is that consensual at that point? I would say no. I know a lot of people would disagree. And then two, like, is the need to like be hypersexualized an actual identity that is coming from a place that people actually identify with, or is this an identity that is created because um this is the way that people can understand to like get paid, if they will? And to me, what I don't like about it is, number one, I think that all commercial rap is made for the white gaze. I think when we talk about like the hypersexualization, I would argue down to the bone that I don't think that those are people's actual how they want to present. I'm gonna be honest with you. I'll probably get argued all the way down to the white meat. But I I just doubt that that's who I doubt that that's how people would want to present. It remains to be seen, right? I'd have to have that exactly conversation. Not a respectability part. Like I'm totally against respectability politics. I'm totally against policing black women's bodies. Like I'm totally against all that. So it feels like that particular conversation, I would rather have that conversation with all black women. All black people who identify as women and femme. I want to have that in that type of conversation. I know that this space here is kind of sort of that space, but not exactly because it's an open space and the internet. But I feel like that kind of conversation I'd rather have with black women, because I don't want to have that conversation with men, and I don't want to have that conversation with non-black people, even if they identify as a woman. I feel like that's a black woman conversation. And not a black woman conversation like bullied up, like Y'all hoes need to put some clothes on. Not that, but an actual like an actual conversation. Like, who what is the message that you would put, like, if this industry didn't place like a singular value on the sexuality? Because in that movie, going back to the Byron Hurt, his argument is that the man is hypersexualized, right? He does show the women, you know, I think at that time we're talking about Candy Shop, 50 Cent, all that, but he talks about how the man is presented in a hypersexualized way. And like I said, my whole thing is, in this like commercial hip hop world, the sexual is I would argue that the sexualization is for the white gays. You know, back in the day, it was a bunch of dudes with their shirt off and gold chains. Now it's a lot of people with gold chains and skinny jeans or different color hair, or tattoos all over your face, and all this type of thing. And I don't have no problem. Many tribes put markings on their face, for initiations and things. I've no, you know, don't I don't want to get into the respectability conversation about it. I would like to have the conversation around this, like center it on capitalism or anti-capitalism, and like consent. You know what I'm saying? And maybe a few other things. But so let's see. Uh So Zenzi said, you've seen a couple of his docs. Don't know if I've seen that one, but check it out. Yeah, Beyond Beats and Rhymes. Again, it was made in 2006. So look at it with that type of eye. We would contextualize things a bit differently in this point. But I do think the idea about the ways in which Black bodies are used in the industry is still very a relevant conversation. Uh, so what else? What Desiree said, when your choices are being offered to you by a system that has power over you, are they in fact still choices? That sounds like what you're saying. Yeah, Dr. Ball. Jared talks about that in his book, Black Buying Power. I hope we have that. Remember, I'm gonna be speaking with Jared next week on November the 9th at noon on Black Power Media about this book and this show. And I do want to talk about the Black Buying Power. I don't have the new book, but I have a bunch of his videos and I have the old book. So maybe I could get him to like sell me a new book. I know he said he was swamped and busy and don't have no time. I was like, come on. But let's see. I see what you're saying. So you're saying, like, as a Black man, you're trying to understand. I guess, see, where the thing is, and for me, and I can only speak for myself, the reason that I would say that I only want to have it with Black women is because I've only really seen the conversation with like Black men, like Black men with each other, or like a bunch of Black men and like one lady. But um and and not like the liberal Black conversation, or even the progressive Black conversation that still is in that respectability politics about being a lady and all this kind of thing. I want to have that conversation with Black leftist women who like get it. You know what I'm saying? Um, because I think we like that's our conversation, if that makes sense. And I would love it to be intergenerational. So it's not like, well, we decided as the elders that y'all got to get it together. But I'd like it to be intergenerational so that we can hear from one another and listen to one another. Um, like I definitely want to have that. Maybe we can have it here, or I'll talk to Tandy or talk to Coco. See, like maybe we could do like a Black woman meetup. You know, talk about it. Let's see. Peace to Global Sisters Media. Uh, all right. No, you're just in time. Rise Isabel, right? Because accept it or not, the presence of men affects the conversation. Right, the presence of men affects the conversation, right? So I think, yeah. So we're gonna talk to Tandy. We're gonna talk to Coco. We're gonna get y'all involved, and we should have, because I keep saying we have to have Black Power meetups. Maybe that's a meetup we can have. Maybe it can be a virtual meetup. We start there, a coffee hour. But that came about because I was telling y'all the different references that are in Beyond Breaking Barriers, because I don't want to read the conclusion to you, because I thought about it. If y'all don't have the book, I don't want to read the conclusion to you. I've read from each of the sections, a little bit from each kind of section, not all the sections, but a little bit from, I've chosen some sections and I've read from them throughout the book. But I didn't want to like read the conclusion because I'm like, that don't make no sense. So I was just going through the bibliography. I was going through some of the notes. I was trying to share where I think, uh, other references that that they were using when they were studying us. Another one I think is pretty good. Where did it go? Where did it go? Where did it go? Uh, Wait, I talked about. Oh, there's Khan Santori Davison, who is from Detroit, and he's a writer. Um, he wrote, but he writes for Metro Times and a lot of different publications here in Detroit. He's a music writer. He wrote something, remembering notable locals from among Detroit's hip hop history. Um, Oh, another Trisha Rose, the hip hop wars, what we talk about when we talk about hip hop and why it matters. Love me some Trisha Rose. Oh, another Bettina Love, a Ratchet Lens, Black Queer Youth Agency, hip hop, and the Black Ratchet Imagination. That might be a good one to look at, to talk about for us. And maybe we could get Bettina. Um, what else? What are some other ones that are pretty cool? That I'm just sharing some of the references um from some people that I, hyper respect uh for their work and, their contributions um to how about Bakari Kitwana, the hip hop generation, young blacks and the crisis in African American culture. That was back in 2003. Can y'all remember? Can y'all believe that was 20 years ago? Ah, we've. It's funny because like as a Gen Xer, it's like 2003 seemed like just like that, but that was 20 years ago. Even then, we were having this conversation 20 years ago. Ain't that something? Something. Um, Man, there's so much great stuff. There's so many. Obviously, right? Bell hooks. Feminism is for everybody. Who else? How about Chiminanda Ngozi Adichie? This could be the beginning of a revolution. It was an article that was in the Guardian. Adrienne Marie Brown, Emergent Strategy, Shaping Change, Changing Worlds. So in Adrienne Marie Brown's book, The Emergent Strategy, she references some of our work in her book. So shouts out to Adrienne Marie Brown. Who else? Oh yeah, Aisha Durham, Home with Hip Hop Feminism, Performances and Communication and Culture. She spoke at my Women in Hip Hop conference and was amazing. Aisha Durham, she's dope. She also, Joan Morgan. We love Joan Morgan, right? She's got When Chicken Heads Come Home to Roost. I had already wanted to talk about that book. That's on my list. And what else is there? There's so many. Oh, another Trisha Rose, Black Noise, Rap Music, and Black Culture in Contemporary America. There's so many books, man. What about Brittany Cooper? Right? The stage hip hop feminism built. That was like one of her essays she did for New Directions. Man, y'all just don't know. I wrote up a whole that thing that's in my so these are all great suggestions, but so inside our book, Women, Rappin Revolution, Detroit Hip Hop and Community Building in Detroit. So inside the book, these are a lot of the references that are part of the, the book that they used, right, to understand better. I was just sharing some of them. Like I said, there are, look how many references. Just a lot of references. All that, it's like books and books. But not but, I'll say and in my so in order to do a show of Black Power Media, I sent a proposal in, right? And my proposal got accepted, and it was this show. So this show is supposed to be like me doing commentary, also doing interviews, and then I put like, reading books and talking about the books. And so I put the show in the show description. I put the description of this show so that anybody that comes, I know it's a lot of words, y'all. Everyone says I'm too wordy, but this is my thing. If you're new, y'all ain't new, but there are people who may stumble upon this video. For folks who are new, when they go to the description, they can see if they want to look at the show or not. So I just give it to you. Like, here's what, the whole concept, right? Like behind the show. And so that's pretty much what the show, right, is about. And then with that, what I did was came up with like a list of people that I'd like to interview and why, a list of books that, I read that I want to talk about. There's other books that are constantly coming out. And so I figured, why not start with our book about what we did in Detroit? And then you can learn, because a lot of y'all don't know me. So then y'all can learn a little bit more about me. And then when I'm doing the show, then y'all could be like, oh, then you understand where I came from and why I'm talking about women in hip hop in the first place. Maybe it makes sense, maybe it doesn't. But I figured y'all would want to know who's bringing you information. I'm that type of person. I like to know, like, and y'all seem to be like those type of investigative type peoples too. So with that, I just wanted to share that again, I'm going to be with Dr. Ball Jarrett next week, November the 9th. At noon. I also wanted to share that my artist Aisha Ellis, the drummer, she has her vinyl, and out is called oh my god, how do I forget the name of her record? Because we're about to go to the studio and make her newest. We're about to go in the studio and make her newest. Ooh, let me not turn that up. We're about to go in the studio and make her newest vinyl, but Luck or Favor is the name of her vinyl album. Okay, big kissy poo to all of y'all. The best place to purchase the book, it's in the description, but you can get it from University of California Press, which is the publisher. Yeah, because guess what? It's sold out on Amazon. I mean, fuck Amazon. But it's sold out on Amazon, and what's shitty? Like, I hate Amazon because of how they treat their workers. They're just a shitty ass corporation. And what sucks is that because they treat their workers like shit, is the reason that our people can afford to like shop there. It's like this goddamn blessing and a curse. It's like that movie, that horror movie where that witch like boiled up that those people's kids and fed it to them. That's how I feel like shopping at Amazon. I'm sorry, that wasn't a good reference, but that's how I feel like shopping at Amazon, because I'm like, damn, like, why do we have to shop at Amazon? Because it's affordable. You know what I'm saying? But it's sold out. So I don't know if I'm a re-up. I don't want to re-up over there. I'm gonna just stay. I'm like, just go get it from the publisher. You know what I'm saying? It is easier because everybody get an Amazon account. You can do blah. But I don't think I'll re-up. I don't know. You know what? Things may change. I may have to re-up. Who knows? But capitalism, right? All the proceeds from this book go to my organization, We Found Hip Hop. And yeah, so some things that we do, we work with youth of all ages. So um children, teens, young adults. We do mentoring. We teach them how to DJ and be girl and rap and sing and dance and produce music and do business in a healthy way. They also learn about cooperatives, um, and how to create their own ecosystem and build their own fan base and work in their skills and do that. We do that kind of thing, but we also do the other kind of thing where we talk about anti-capitalism and imperialism and all the ways that they can do things differently, right? And think differently and all of that. So like combinations of workshops and mentorship and then also too we talk about them, or we have them work on environmental justice and learn about environmental justice and eco justice and all of that, so that we're not disconnected from these values, so the values are like all ingrained, right, in the programming that we do. And then we work with women, right, because Aisha is an artist that I'm working with. Again, man, her album's upstairs. I'll go get it next time, not this minute. But we have an event coming up. So that's some of her music. But anyway, I just play a little bit. But because the thing is, I don't know about the algorithm yet. I gotta see. Can I play her music on here? Because I don't want the channel to get another strike because we wrote the music, and I'm like, even though it's our music, it's like YouTube be acting funky. So I don't want us to get no other strike. But but yeah, so that was like a drum solo she did on like one of the tunes. But long story short, she has a show that's coming up on the 11th. That's going to be at Spotlight, and this is the flyer to her show. If you go on my Instagram, you'll see it. She's going to be with legendary Hot Wax Hale. If you're in Detroit, it's her album release, Luck or Favor. Um, yeah, and I am very excited about her music and what she put together, what she envisioned, what she created. Again, um, this is her first uh, album, so shouts out to her. It's on vinyl, and it's also for digital download on Hypnotic Records website. So, like I said, we have the event is going to be on the 11th. I'll promote it again next week. And let's see. Okay, yeah. Also, too, um, I do also have my podcast tomorrow on Detroit is Different. I talk about like environmental justice and a lot of other stuff. But on here, I specifically talk about women in hip hop, the Black Power Media. What else is there? Let me know about those women MCs, those women music producers, because want to make the fourth volume of my Women in Hip Hop mixtape and want to make the first volume of my Women in Hip Hop beat tape for 2024. So if you know of people, send them to me. You can send them to Piper Carter. You can send them to We Found Hip Hop. All my links and things are in the description. I want to go back and I want to say thank you to Black Power Media for allowing me to be here. I really appreciate this space. I really appreciate this community. I feel very honored to be a part of this community. I really, just appreciate the ability to be able to talk about women in hip hop and it to be accepted and it to be welcomed. It feels so good after struggling for so long to convince so many. But feels really good. And then I want to go back and thank everyone in the chat for joining and for throwing down on the conversation. I want to say peace to Yipper 99, to Desiree Gerber, to Yama, to Quaker Anarchists, to Global Sisters Media, Zenzabel, who else? KJ, Poncho, Keenan, Jaman, who else? I gotta remember to say uh people's names on here because y'all are very supportive and it means a lot. Marley, um, going backwards up to the top here, just saying peace and peace and peace and peace. Timothy, oh, Sugar Booger, CB, um, who else? Did I get everybody? Yes. So I want to say thanks to all of y'all. That's a New York accent. All y'all. No, appreciate you all. And I'm gonna see y'all next week. And before I go, y'all know what I gotta say. Free Palestine. Free Palestine. Right? Free Palestine. So yeah. Much love, y'all. Have a great week. Get your rest that you need. Take care of yourselves. Stay hydrated. And yeah, much good vibrations. All right. Peace, y'all.